Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you're all doing well. I just want to spend a few minutes talking about a job I did a couple of weeks ago. I actually filmed this one and put it on the channel. It was the Mistral boiler with the Honeywell diverter valve. What it was, I never invoice my job straight away because I want to make sure the customer's all happy. I want to make sure the system's still working. So what it was, I've sent the invoice and the customer's now saying he's not paying because he had to have somebody else go out over the bank holiday weekend, and he's saying the valve head had fell off. I know I put that valve head on because A, I've videoed it, and B, the Honeywell's got the 2 screws in and they don't fall off on them Honeywells. What he's saying is the system stopped working over the bank holiday weekend because the valve head had fell off and now he's not paying the invoice. Which I'm a bit upset about really, because I know that system was all working, and I'd have been more than happy to go back. If he'd phoned me up and said, oh, system stopped working, I would have gone out on that bank on the weekend and gone out and fixed it free of charge. Even if it not necessarily been something I'd done, I still would have gone out. And obviously this other company's gone out and charged him what I think is a lot of money over a bank holiday weekend, and they're saying it's obviously my fault, which, as I say, without looking at it, I can't 100% say that valve head hadn't fallen off. I don't know. I've never had a Honeywell one fall off in all my years. He's obviously on the email, he's saying I'm a bit of a cowboy, I'm a rogue and all that, but as I say, I don't get up in the morning to rip people off. I've kept my prices low. I never put my prices up. I only charge £36 an hour plus VAT. And obviously that job we saw on the video, I left the job I was on because the guy had got no heat and hot water. He said he was vulnerable. I went straight across. I had the part on my van, and obviously I got him working within an hour. So it was only £36 plus VAT. I always make 20% on my materials. I don't want to discuss too much how much I charge, but I keep my prices as low as possible to obviously help my customers out and obviously do a good service. But obviously sorry about that always happens. I've kind of lost my train of thought now, but obviously it's one of them, do you bother pursuing such a relatively small amount of money? It just so happens that their invoice wipes out my invoice completely, and obviously it can do more damage to your business with bad reviews and stuff like that. Even though I know, I believe I've done a good job, I can't 100% prove it. So it just upsets me a little bit when stuff like that happens. It happens probably more often than you think. If somebody says to me, we're not happy with the job, I will always go back and put it right. I'll hold my hands up. If I've made a mistake, it's on me. I would never expect the customer to pay for one of my mistakes. And equally, even if it's not something I'd done, I would probably gone out there and done that for free anyway, because I'm that sort of person. I would never rip anybody off. That's not in my moral or mentality. So yeah, and as I say, it happens more often than you think. And sometimes, I know you guys will say, chase it for every penny. It's just not. Sometimes it's just not worth it. It's not a massive amount of money that we're talking about. If the guy had said to me, right, I'm struggling to pay, I don't actually offer finance, but sometimes what I'll do is, right, just pay what you can now, and then we can work something out if people talk to me. But when people just point blank refuse to pay, I don't know if another contract has been out or not. I'm not sure, but as I say, it's just one of them. Obviously I'm down, I've lost the cost of my valve, I've lost my labour, and yeah, so it's a job I didn't get paid for. So it upsets me a little bit, because obviously you don't get up, it's a business, you don't get up in the morning to lose money. But as I say, it happens a lot. I could probably talk about all day jobs that I've not been paid for when I think I've done a fair job and an honest job. But it's maybe because I'm too honest and don't go chasing stuff. That's probably why I'm not a very good businessman. I know my brother would chase every penny, but sometimes you've just got to take a stand back sometimes and look at the bigger picture. It's all about customer satisfaction, but it's just, yeah, I'm waffling now because it's upset me. It's got me a little bit. So yeah, I'll get straight on with the video. I'm just about to go in this house and second fix this bathroom. I'll try and get some shots if I can. So yeah, we'll see you all in there. Back on this one today. I came and did the shower cubicle the other week because I wanted to get all the flooring all decorated. So I've just sat that pan in position. The flooring is underneath it, so I've just got my corner basin, my radiator to sort, and obviously silicone everything up. Yes, it's looking good. It's quite bright, to be fair. We went for anti-slip flooring, anti-slip tray, yeah, comfort height pan, and then just a corner basin. So yeah, it's a push button on off shower. I shan't turn it on because I've not quite got the outlets finished yet. And then just silicone up. Yeah, I think it's turned out nice considering what it was. The tray was, you know, 200-300mm off the floor, and obviously it was all boxed in around the edge. I think it looks really nice. So yeah, hopefully the customers are going to be really happy with it. We put 2 new spotlights in the roof, new extractor fan, new pull cord as well. So yeah, it's getting there. Just got to finish it off. It's all the little bits, and we strengthened all these walls as well, so we can put got some stainless grab rails wherever they are to put on, obviously. And if he does want a seat in that shower as well. But yeah, we couldn't go much bigger with the tray just because it would close this gap down too much, but I think it looks fine. Right. I'm not a massive fan of using flexes on anything really, but the only way you can really do these is with a flexi, because you've got to pass that through your hole in your pan, and you really struggle to do it with a solid because you can't get in to tighten it up after. So flexis do come in handy from time to time, obviously, as long as you don't kink it, or you know, they'll bend a little bit, but you don't want to kink it. That should be absolutely fine. It's completely approved. It's just a solid fixing I always think is better. So these come pre-made, so I just make sure they're tight. There's no need to use any silicone or anything like that on these. The rubber washers should seal fine. I'll just make good I'll just put these in, and then we can just drop that on top of the pan. And the good thing is we've got plywood behind, so I know I'm going to get solid fixings in that wall. Perfect. So I just levelled the cistern up on the pan, and what I try and tend to do is screw it back with brass screws, because this will screw in dead easy. It just makes it so much easier if you ever need to get them out. They use brass or stainless. If you use steel, they sometimes rot off, and it's a nightmare to get the cistern back up if you ever need to in the future. So yeah, my old mate who taught me, if he ever saw you use a steel screw, he would go nuts. And he said, you might be the one coming back. I'll just turn the water off. I just need to rejig these pipes so they're a little bit further back. I've got a gap underneath anyway, and then all I'll do is bring them up, 2 service valves where you can get to them, and then I'll have to I'll either cut the unit or probably just multi-tool the skirting board, get that all fitted, and it should be fine. Basin will just sit on top. I've just got my rad to do. I've just finished all my toilet and everything, that's all working, plumbed in. You can't really see any of the connections, so it should be good. It should look alright. Right, I thought I just filmed all this, but I forgot to press record. Basically what I've done is all these pipes at the bottom, so it now fits inside the thing. So I need to get the skirting board measured, cut, we can get the unit fixed back, and then just then we'll bring up. So just position my unit. We just need to level it up. It's not a million miles out anyway, but we'll sort that, then we can get it fixed. The basin will just drop on then, and then we just got this easy bit of plumbing it in. I've got to find the handle for it as well. But connections are all there ready to go. So they'll just sweep up with 2 flexes onto the basin mixer, job done. Right, so we're getting there. Just got to put the basin, tap in and waste. The room is actually square as well, which helps, and then I'll just form some splashback with the mermaid board that's left over, and some nice chrome trim. I think that'll look quite smart myself. So yeah, dead easy job of just piping that in, and radiator to put back on, silicone up, and we should be about there. Right, it looks something just like that. So all I do is going to be the silicone underside just to bed the basin on top of the unit. I once went to fit one of these corner units in a job, and the wall was that far out of square, it was an absolute nightmare, to be honest with you. But yeah, that looks okay. So I just got to finish piping this up, so I just need a couple of male lines on my service valves, them into there, and then trap across, and that should do it. I don't know how much my GoPro picked up because it didn't seem to be recording properly. It's recording now when I don't want it to, for some reason. But yeah, that's all connected in. That should be fine. I don't know what that GoPro is doing. So I've got service valves on there. Hot and cold. We'll quickly just bleed this through. Make sure we've got hot on the left. Yeah, it should be good. Make sure we've got no leaks, and that's all done. Just got the handle to put on, and then just got the radiator and then sealing up to do. Well, I've just got to finish off the shower bits. I've already siliconed behind behind there, has just screwed that in. Still got a silicone around that face plate. These are just on non-concussive, not non-concussive, but they just push. So one's for the fixed head, one's for the riser. I think I'm just going to mount that riser quite low. It's just in case you sat on the chair. It's sometimes nice if you can just, you know, rinse yourself off. Yeah, I think that should be alright. And then I've just got a silicone up down the outside in clear. And then I need to find out where he wants his grab rails. I've got them, but I really need him here. We can always come back and fix them because they're quite, I know if you're doing it to dock M there are specific regulations, but it's more what works for my customer on this job. Other than that, we're pretty much getting there. Make sure you pre-drill your mermaid board, and as you wind your screw in, fill that with silicone so no water can get behind. We have got ply, as I've already said, behind here, so the mermaid board is like ply anyway, so we know we're going to get dead solid fixings. It's just a case of filling everything with silicone in the shower area, so you know no water can ever get behind. So yeah, should be fine. So I think that bit goes in first. It's like you stop for your temperature, so you really need that setting in sort of a maximum of 43 on the heart. And then that's obviously the handle. So yeah, them bits are for the back plates. I never really use them because I always put my, oh, that bit's probably for the handle as well. I think that was for the bottom outlet, but I use the just into a wall plate elbow. I find that much better. So yeah, should be fine. These are what I use. That one's a little bit messed up, but it's the Fugi, just silicone profile tools. I've had them quite a few years. Seem pretty good. I've got a couple of sets. One set I cut in half. That's actually one of the full ones. It's just a half size. Cut them in half to get behind taps and stuff easier. What I always do is just give everything a good wipe down, and then I go over again at the end, just because sometimes these can dry a little bit smeary. But I've got the depth absolutely perfect. It's always difficult when you're on egg building to judge, but yeah, should be fine. So I've just got the knobs to put on, silicone everything up, and we should be good. Right, we'll give the shower a whirl. I think that one is fixed head. Beautiful. I was concerned it's going to splash out a little bit. I just have to keep my eye on it. Hopefully it should be alright. And then we've got the riser one. Might have a bit of air. I still need to set the temperature up on there yet. So we've got fixed head. These are just like push button. Seem quite good to be fair. And then that's just the thermostat to set it. So I just need to put the handle on and the stop. Comes with a, I'll have a look. All this does, that bit just stops it from going any hotter, if that makes sense. So that brass bit goes on top, so that would be full hot in that position. Spin it round, it should be cold. So I just need to set this up with a thermometer. So that's the dead stop. So that'll be maximum 43 all the way back round. That'll be cold. Just need to make sure I've got that in the right place, because it does make a difference. Because obviously you can spin it to go hotter. In theory the thermostat shouldn't let it go much hotter anyway, but we'll just double check it. Right, that's all set up. So these are quite nice and easy to use, so they literally just push. Which I thought would be better, you know, if you're struggling, rather than handles. So I think that works quite nicely. I couldn't really do a lot more. Obviously it might have been nicer to go slightly larger with the tray, but then obviously it would close that gap down there, so sometimes you're limited into the room that you can work. But I think it all looks fine. I think widening these doorways made a massive difference to the room as well. You know, before I think it was a 600 door, I think it's a 900 now. Just makes it so much easier to get everything. Let me just spin the camera around. So I'll come out that bad light. That's pretty much this job all sorted. I'll probably have to pop back and do the grab rails at some point, but I really want the customer on site just so we can mark exactly where they need to be, because, you know, it might be that he's slightly taller or shorter. I know there is sort of a standard height in Dock M, but I really want it right for this customer because it's his own house. I'm just going to go down and have a look at the kitchen tap. It's been annoying me the whole job. It's loose as a goose, so it should just be a case of tightening that up, get all the carpet protector up, and this job should be all sorted then. This afternoon I've got to go look at a wood burner flue. It's on a single story. I think one of the guide wires has snapped, so the flue's just gone over. Hopefully it should be a nice easy job. But yeah, I'll get this one all tidied up first and I'll pop down and have a look at the kitchen tap for him. Alright, we'll just have a quick look at this tap for him. I think it's just standard. What can we see? It's just a standard mod block. Somebody's used, oops, saw that. Somebody's used flexes through the unit, which is not ideal. But we've just got to get up there, see if I can get a bit of light on the situation. Can you see that? Because I can't see. Normally just put it on there. Just got to try and get up there and tighten that nut. I can see it. Never easy plumbing, even the easy jobs. All I'm trying to do is just get my grips on the bottom there, just to get that nice and tight. Feels pretty good to me. I mean, the flex is not going to be fantastic, but yeah, it's a lot better than it was anyway. So it's just something I've sorted for the customer. It was annoying me as much as anything, so yeah, easy one sorted for him.